Hello, good evening and welcome, which is somebody else's catchphrase entirely. I'm not even sure why I said it, but you're very welcome anyway. I am hosting sort of, not an impromptu Your Shout, let's say, but a Your Shout that is concerning Marko Arnautovic and his flirtations with the top six club. He thinks he should be playing top six. Maybe he just wants a new contract. Maybe he's just lifting up his skirt and flashing his knickers at anybody that's interested. I don't know, but his brother is certainly running around giving out his phone number and letting everybody know that he's up for it. But does he want to stay at West Ham? Does he want to leave? Does he want the pay rise? Does he want to play for Manchester United and play second fiddle, as Tom will discuss later on? I don't know. I've got 3 videos from Scotty D, from Matt and from Tom, with also a sort of smidgen, a light dusting, let's say, of Canning Town Len in between, who's going to finish off with a very, very nice song, which doesn't have an awful lot to do with Arnautovic. It sort of has more to do with Sully and Gold increasing the stadium capacity, hopefully up to 66,000. For some unknown reason, I mean, let's be fair, we can't fit all 57,000, can we? I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing it. But anyway, the court case has been agreed. E20 and West Ham United have come to a mutual agreement which pushes that up to 66,000 eventually. I think maybe not the next game, which is Man City, but thereafter, I think we could go straight to 60,000, which will be wonderful news for those of you that are on the 50,000 waiting list. Is that right? I don't think so. I don't think it is. I'm sure you don't think it is. But we're going to find out what everybody thinks about Marko Arnautovic. And as Matt is going to tell you, his naughty brother. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Over to you, fellas.
Good evening, hammers, hammerettes, and, well, everyone else. Scotty D again. Don't sigh, I saw that. It's free, mate. It's a free opinion, so don't worry about it. Marko Arnautovic, the bastard himself. Couple of news stories about Arnautovic this week, isn't there? First of which was linking him with a move away to a club in the top 6. Don't really buy into the rumours at all. I think the first time this happened was 1 or 2 transfer windows ago, and then last window everyone was a bit worried that he was going to go to United. I don't really see it happening, to be honest. I just think it's his agent or his brother giving his 2 pennies and trying to get him a better deal, which is what an agent's there for. Which kind of leads us on to the next point, really. A few days later it comes out and says that he's rumoured to want 200 grand a week. Now, anyone on 200 grand a week at West Ham nearly gives me a heart attack. But that's really because I don't really see us as a club that's of the stature to pay 200 grand a week. I mean, of course we are. We're a big club and whatever else, and we love West Ham with all of our heart. But that seems a bit fairy tale to me, for what the likes of your Man Cities and your Man Uniteds of the world used to pay to get top players in. And Marko Arnautovic is a top player. Let's get it right. He's probably the best striker outside of the top 6 at the moment. I mean, I think he's done something like 45% of our goals he's had a hand in since he's joined, which is an unbelievable stat. That don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure I read that. I think where the money talk is coming from is I saw something earlier last week that there's a bit of a rift in the dressing room with Chicharito. On 140 grand a week, one of the highest players in the club, and doesn't make it into the starting 11. And when he does play, he doesn't really put in a shift, and he doesn't really produce the results either. So, I'm not surprised that players like Marko that kind of put their heart and soul and everything else and leave everything on the pitch when they come off is kind of sat there thinking, well, I want a little bit of that. So you can't kind of blame him, but what I'd want to know is more about the deal. Like, is it 200 grand a week basic? Because I think that's ridiculous. Or is it with goals, appearances, international call-ups, league position, or whatever else, that there's like a bonus involved that would add it on to like kind of 200 grand a week. If it's including bonuses, it might not be so bad. But if it's a flat basic salary plus bonuses, then I can't see us really being able to do that. Because it just completely obliterate our wage structure. But But just going back to the Arnautovic leaving rumours, I mean, one of the things is who doesn't want to play Champions League football? Do you know what I mean? But let's face it, the geezer's having injections in his knee at the moment just to be able to play once a week. I don't really see him being able to play twice a week, not without kind of giving himself a serious injury. But yeah, just wanted to give a few of my opinions on the whole thing. I think Arnautovic probably does deserve a new deal. We need to tie him down. 200 grand a week is a bit ridiculous if it's a basic salary, but if it includes bonuses, then fair enough. And I don't think he's going anywhere. He's a bastard, and he's our bastard. So come on, you Irons.
It's terrifically exciting to be in the jungle. All these celebrities, they're well, I don't know, most of them are, if truth be told, but my Sandra's terrifically excited because she's a massive DIY SOS fan. She always used to say to me, Harry, I would love to get that Nick Knowles inside the house to lay something in the bedroom. Oh, it's marvellous, terrific.
So I thought I'd do a quick video on Arnautovic. It has been the international break, so it's gone a little bit quiet on the player, although we know that he's definitely carrying an injury. So the question mark remains as to whether he will be staying at West Ham or not. I looked at his salary. He's on about 5,200,000 a year, which 52 weeks in a year, that's about 100 grand a week, which isn't bad. He signed a 5-year contract when he joined West Ham. So clearly the view was that he was going to be staying to the end of his career probably, because he's 29, 30 years old. We noted in the summer that his brother tried to link him to Man United, and it was inevitable with the transfer window coming up that his brother would yet again link the player away. The question mark, of course, remains, is Arnautovic here for the money? Or does he want to be a big fish in a small pond? If it's all about football and he wants to play Champions League, then good luck to him. But he ain't going anywhere in January. I don't think any club would take a risk on signing a player who is carrying an injury. That rolls on to the summer, where inevitably there will be more links for the player to move away. Even with a long-term contract, we saw it with Dimitri Payet. We saw it actually with Arnautovic when he left Stoke. Players can move if they so wish. But we do have the ability to say this is the price that we want for the player, and obviously clubs need to pay that. Equally, 100 grand plus for a player 29-30 on a long-term contract elsewhere doesn't necessarily make sense. So let's watch this space, but clearly his brother is being very mischievous in trying to anchor a move away for the player, or inevitably get a new contract on more money.
Well, I've made some terrific new friends. We got Scary Spice, John the Woofter and Nick the DIY expert. We had to do a little challenge. I learned out a car window, which is not too alien to me. I'm rummage around with some insects. But when we got back to the cab, I was very disappointed. I was expecting a top dinner. It was terrifically horrible. It was emu. It was very chewy. And I said to the producer I wasn't expecting this, and they said, that's not the last time you'll have to eat a tough old bird, Harry. So, well, you know, I do like Anne, but if it's her or me, she's going to have to go.
Hi guys, Tom here, just with a quick reaction to the rumours we've been hearing this past week about Marco. Yeah, rumours. Where do we start? This is in two parts, really, isn't it? We've got the first half that we heard he wanted to move away from the club, fancied playing for a Champions League side. Who doesn't, to be fair? And then secondly, we heard that he wanted a new contract. He wanted 200 grand a week, which I think has been blown totally out of proportion, really. I think people, especially the press, have put 2 and 2 together and they've got 5. I'm so unconcerned by these rumours, it's untrue. I'm not worried whatsoever, I'm really not. We're not going to have another Dimitri Payet situation on our hands here. I mean, he's been the ultimate professional ever since he's been at the club. I know that wasn't always the case when he was at Stoke, and I know that he forced a move away from there, which is perhaps why people are a little bit concerned now, but we can only judge him on what he's done for us. And he's been professional at all times. He's been playing regularly with pain-killing injections. He's got a fantastic rapport from the fans. He loves being that maverick of the side. He really does. And I think, like the guy said in the week quite rightly, he likes being that big fish in a small pond. And I think even if it was a case of him wanting to move away, which I don't believe anyway, but if it was the case, now I believe he's the best player outside the top six. Let's put that out there. I do. He produces the numbers to warrant that. I think he backs it up with that evidence in goals and assists, really, that some other players, they don't really. A lot of people say Zaha, but he doesn't back it up like Arnautovic does. While he's a great player, you look at the stats, Arnautovic is far and away ahead of him as far as goals and assists are concerned. And at the end of the day, that's what you pay for. Now, so even if you're calling him the best player outside the top six, does he automatically walk into a top six side? Well, no, he doesn't. Unfortunately for him, those clubs are well covered in them areas. And even if they wasn't, the kind of money that we could demand for Arnautovic, those clubs could attract other players from the continent for the same sort of money, if not less. So that's a no-go as far as I'm concerned. Now, the contract, I could actually understand him wanting a bit more money. There's players at the club earning more than him, not producing anywhere near as much as him. So you could understand that. But 200 grand a week, I'm not having it. He hasn't demanded 200 grand a week. No chance. He might want 130, 140, but 200, not happening. And he wouldn't get it. And he wouldn't get it anywhere else either. So, like I say, I'm really not concerned, guys. Let us know what you think. But for me, it's a total no-goer. And I think we've got him here for at least the foreseeable future. So, anyway, that's it from me, really. Take it easy, guys. See you soon.
When we sell out, well, you know we're gonna be the club that finds a seat for you. If you're fair weather, well, you know we're gonna be the club that finds a seat for you. You travel agents, well, you know we're gonna be the club that makes some cash for you. If you're a tourist, well, you know we're gonna be the club that takes the cash from you. 'Cause we've just got the extra seat, and we're after 6,000 more. Just to be the club that rents the ground, that lets other clubs fans through the door. Roll up now! Roll up now! Roll up now! Roll up now! Don't remember to stop in the club shop on the way. Roll up now! Roll up now! Roll up now! Roll up now! Don't remember to stop in the club shop on the way.